are going to bring to you guys all summer long. It's called the Bay Area Baseball Bit. We will break down the A's and the Giants, and we have our insider, Alan Stiles, with us, who will be with us for the ride all summer long. Alan, thanks for joining us. Let's start with the Giants, man. You know, they are playing great baseball, but you still look down at the standings, and they're just a game and a half above the Dodgers. I believe that the Giants probably have the smallest margin of error in the majors because of that tough division they're playing in. Do you think they can hold off these Padres and the Dodgers as we get through the dog days of summer?
Man, you know, it's going to be tough for sure, but I do think that they can, because when you think about why the Giants are playing well, obviously pitching has been a big deal. Kevin Gausman has been amazing. But beyond that, the Giants, something that a lot of people don't talk about, is that the Giants have the most pinch hit at-bats, home runs, and RBIs in Major League Baseball. And what does that tell you? That tells you that they're getting contributions from everyone. So when the other teams are trying to game plan, and it also gives Gabe Kapler a lot of flexibility, those types of things are some of the reasons I think they'll be able to hang around and keep off the Dodgers and Padres. I know nobody wanted to believe that this was going to continue, myself included, but I'm to the point where they're really making me a believer.
Yeah, getting timely hits, and one of those guys who are doing it and has been doing it for a while for this organization, Brandon Crawford. He just set the record for games played at shortstop. How monumental has he been for the franchise over the last, several years? I mean, he's not the first name that comes to mind when you think of Giants lore, but he's just been a model of consistency.
He really has. And to be honest, short of Steph Curry, when you talk about beloved athletes from, this era, he's got to be right there, because you have that famous picture of him when he was a kid and at Giants Candlestick. They reenacted it not too long ago. Those types of things. And the fact that shortstop is probably the hardest position on the baseball field, and the Giants haven't had to worry about that position for almost a decade. That gives the organization a lot of flexibility to continue to go out and get other positions. And when you look at what he's done, his body of work, he's still doing it. He's going to be, or at least he should be, an all-star this year. His contract is up, and the Giants are going to have to pay him again. And you know what? He deserves it for what he's done and continues to do. He hit another home run today on Father's Day. I mean, the guy just always lives up to the moment.
Yeah, you're right about that. Brandon Crawford, he grew up a Giants fan in Pleasanton. Now, let's go across the bridge over to Oakland. The A's just plugging away. First place team, and they got a guy who's playing pretty well, Matt Olson. Do you think he's a legit MVP candidate? He, again, just like Crawford, he had another home run today, Olson.
Exactly. So now he's at 20 on the year. And the thing about Matt Olson that you love to see, and to answer your question in short, yes, I do think he's an MVP candidate. But when you look at the three true outcomes in baseball, strikeouts, home runs, and walks, what Olson has been able to do is cut down on those strikeouts, but he still has those home run numbers, on top of the fact that he's still playing Gold Glove caliber first base, on top of the fact that Matt Chapman hasn't really gotten it going yet. So there's not that much as much protection for him in the lineup, and he's still putting up these numbers. So if he can continue to do that, I don't see why we're not going to be having this same conversation when the season's over, and he's going to be right there with him.
Love to hear it. All right, Alan, now you're a Bay Area native, so you've been here a while, and you'd have more insight on this than I would, so call me a dummy if you need to. But I think this Friday, this Bay Bridge series is shaping up to be the best Bay Bridge series of all time, because you got the whole aspect of COVID-19. They're finally letting everyone back in the building. You have two teams that are at the top of the standings. And then obviously you're always going to have that Oakland-San Francisco rivalry. People over in San Francisco would say it's not much of a rivalry, but that's another topic for another day. Do you think this is shaping up to be the best Bay Bridge series we've seen?
Well, look, short of the World Series in 1989 with the earthquake, nothing is ever going to top that. But I will say this. You have two top teams. If you could take out the location, these are two of the top teams in baseball. Then you include the fact that they are neighbors, and you include the fact that the A's will always have this underdog mentality, even though they were projected to have more wins than the Giants. So there's just so many narratives whenever these two teams get together. Like you said, Oracle Park is going to be at full capacity. I think it's going to be electric in there. You have the Giants that just find a way to win no matter what is going on. They always believe. And then you have the A's, who typically play their best ball in the summer. And as it kind of goes, when the days get hot, the A's get hot. But something's going to have to give, and we're going to figure out who the winner is going to be and who's going to come out on top. So I know I'm excited. I know everybody's excited. You know, this shouldn't just be, this is beyond Bay Area at this point because of how well these two teams are playing. But on top of the fact that it's not little brother, big brother. It's just the Bay Area battle. And we're going to see who's going to be the winner.
Nice. When the days get hot, the A's get hot. I'm going to have to steal that for you, Alan. That's Alan Stiles. I'm Jason Dumas. It was your Bay Area baseball bit. We'll be right back after the break.